Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As I was telling you last week on my Instagram stories, I've decided to start some YouTube series with the topic acne. When I was younger, I was struggling a lot with acne, and even now sometimes I have breakouts, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put foundation in the right way if you have acne and blemishes and other imperfections of the skin. And I'm doing this as a second video from this series, from this acne series, just because I remember myself. I remember those old times when I used to add tons of foundation, of concealer, of powder, just to be sure that I have that perfect skin. I was trying desperately to cover all the imperfections of the skin, all the acne, using foundation that has high coverage. But what I was doing wrong at that time was to apply it all over my face. And actually, by applying a high coverage all over your face, yes, you will get that flawless skin, that Instagram skin. But when you are going outside and when you are meeting people and you are near someone, you will see that the foundation will be too much, and worse, it's gonna crease after a few hours. To be honest, sometimes I just hate to remember that I used to apply loads of everything, loads of foundation, loads of powder, loads of concealer, just to have a perfect skin. And of course, it's not the right thing to do. Honestly, it was a little bit difficult to start doing this type of videos, but after so many years, I realized that everything was mostly in my head, and I suppose that I'm not the only one who is going through this. And I just want to share with you that everything that I've been experienced until now, everything that I was struggling with, everything that helped me to get rid of acne. It took me a while to start to accept who I am, to start to understand the acne, to start to understand how my organism, how my body works, to start to embrace the acne. And at that moment, I remember that I was starting to experience something different, but not only in terms of my skin, but in terms of my self-confidence and my self-esteem. Because I remember that I didn't want to interact with anyone just because I just hated myself. I just hated to watch myself in the mirror. I felt sometimes that I was gross and I just couldn't go out, and I felt so insecure, and it was a very difficult time of my life. Something that now actually I think that it is a little bit funny. I remember that lots of people were teaching me how to wash my face, as I was not already doing that, because in this way I will get rid of acne, of course. I also remember that I had some bad experiences in high school with some of my colleagues. They were chatting between themselves, saying that they want to stay away from me because they were afraid that they will get some acne if they will stay too close to me, and all kind of this type of situations. I've decided to talk about everything that is related to acne since I started to experience this until now, when I finally can say that acne is not a huge thing for me anymore, because I am proud of myself that I can go out without wearing any makeup and looking like this, and I don't feel bad that my skin is not the perfect skin in the world. Because in the end, being beautiful and feeling good, it doesn't mean to have a good skin, and it doesn't mean that you are ugly if you have acne. I will mention again, it's very important to have a skincare routine. It is the most important step. Even if you know how to cover acne in the right way, you'll realize that it's more important to have a good skin. It's more important to pay attention to your skincare routine and And the next step is to learn how to do your makeup in the right way. I will talk about the skincare routine, my skincare routine, all the ingredients that I've learned about, all the ingredients that worked with my skin and that didn't work with my skin. I will talk about this in the next videos as well. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't want to miss those videos. Okay, let's go into this. First of all, I will start with hydrating my skin. I hope that everyone knows, and if you don't know, you will find out now, that one of the most important things to do when you're doing your makeup, you need to take care of your skin, you need to hydrate the skin, and you need to do this even if you have oily skin. So I will start with hydrating my skin, and I'm gonna be using this dewy cream from Tatcha. This is actually a skin cream that is better for those who have dry skin, but if you wanna give a boost of hydration to your skin, then you can also use this one if you have oily skin. Moving into foundation, there will be two different steps that I'm gonna be doing. First of all, I'm gonna act as I don't have any acne, any blemishes, any redness on my skin. And I'm gonna go with a foundation that has a light base, that it's a light wear foundation. And only after that, the step 2 is gonna be to apply a heavier foundation or to apply the concealer only on those targeted areas. I'm gonna be using now this foundation from Estée Lauder. So this is how my skin looks like after I applied only one layer of foundation. Remember that I'm not using this foundation to cover the imperfections. I'm just using it to as a thin layer, as a light base. And only after that I'm gonna come and cover the spots. So after I apply the foundation, the high coverage foundation, I'm gonna go with the same flat brush, which is kind of soft. It's a soft brush. It is a synthetic brush. So let's take this spot here where I applied the Faux Filter foundation from Huda Beauty. I'm gonna go with the brush and tap it once, very light, and only after that, with the same brush, I'm gonna go all around the breakout, and I am tapping all around it to blend the edges very well. Now under the eye, I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer. And now I'm taking the beauty blender, a small wet beauty blender, and I'm just blending everything very well. So again, what I've been doing until now, I just used the light foundation as I was acting as I don't have any acne, any blemishes, any redness. I was using a light foundation and applied all over my face as a thin base, and the foundation that I've been using is Estée Lauder Double Wear. After that, I was focused on those targeted areas where I had acne, blemishes, and I was using a high coverage foundation. What I'm gonna be doing next is to use a tiny little bit of powder, and I'm gonna be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. The shade is number 1, it's fair. I'm gonna apply this foundation in a small amount, in the tiny amount, only on those areas where I've been using the high coverage foundation and where I've been concealing, just because it's gonna crease in the end if you are not doing it. Make sure that the concealer didn't crease under the eye, and only after that you can apply the powder. If it did crease, then you can just use your fingers and tap it and blend it very well, and only after that you can apply a tiny amount of powder. Now I want to be focused on the rest of the skin to make it glowy, to make it the first thing that someone is gonna see when they are watching me. They are not going to see my breakouts, they are not going to see the acne, they are going to see that natural skin, that skin that looks healthy. So I'm gonna be using this Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm gonna take a small amount, apply it with my fingers only on those areas where the natural light hits the face. Make sure that you are not applying it all on the breakouts as well. You are not applying it on those places where you have acne and blemishes, even if you cover it before, because you will make that part even more visible, and you don't want to do that. You want to be focused only on those targeted areas where, first of all, the skin it is healthy, and in the same time the natural light hits the skin. So I'm gonna be using it on my cheekbones, and I'm just pressing it in this area. As you can see, I have loads of large pores in here as well, so I'm not gonna apply this on those pores. I don't know if you can see, but actually now when I'm moving, depending of the light, you can see this, that this is more visible than the rest of the skin, and it looks like it is glowy. I'm gonna be doing the same thing here. Apply it on the cupid bow as well, but you can skip this step if you don't like it. Apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose, on top of my nose as well, but just a tiny little bit. Okay, so if you want to, you can skip this step. I just like a little bit of a glow, so I'm gonna use powder highlighter. I'm gonna be using this highlighter, this more natural hairbrush. I'm gonna apply the highlighter on top of the liquid highlighter that I've been using previously. So if you want to, you can skip this step. Just love the glow. So I'm gonna apply this highlighter in the same places I've been applying the liquid highlighter before. I'm gonna create a light contouring using this powder bronzer from NARS. I'm applying this powder, this bronzer, underneath my cheekbone, and I'm just blending it upwards. You see, everything changed now when I have a little bit of glow, a little bit of contouring. I am moving on with the blush, and I'm applying this powder brush from NARS. This blush is from the Orgast collection, and I'm applying it using a round brush. I just love the finish. So this is it, this is how it looks like. As you've seen, it's not difficult at all. It may take a little bit longer to do it rather than applying all the high coverage all over your face, but in this way I promise you it's gonna last longer, and it's gonna look better, way much better. We've applied everything that you are usually applying, but the way you are applying it and the amount of product that you are using is a little bit different. Bear in mind that the most important thing is to keep that natural skin, that luminous skin, that healthy skin, to keep it as natural as possible, and apply the high coverage foundation and apply the concealer only on those target areas where you have any spots and blemishes and acne. This is how I learned that it's best to apply foundation when you have acne and blemishes. I hope it is helpful for you too. I hope you will give it a try and see if it works for you. And see you next time with a new video about acne and blemishes. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because in this way you will get notified, and actually it's gonna mean the world to me to see that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel. See you next time.